Well, today's topic is everybody's most favorite topic ever, religion and politics, or some of us least favorite topic. Earlier this week,
No,
we
hold
talked
on.
about with Huckabee and Romney.
When you're having a party, aren't those the two things you're not supposed to talk about?
Politics and religion?
Yes, when you go to a social event, those are the two things you never bring up.
It's true. So,
This was his idea.
So, well, we're talking about religion and politics because this week we talked about Mike Huckabee and Mitt Romney. Both of them are very religious people, and their religions have become
We talked about
issues.
John McCain too.
We talked about John McCain, but
Does he not? He doesn't go to church.
well, I mean, it's not an issue with him. But with
Why
those
not?
two,
Why? Okay. Why is it an issue with Mike Huckabee and Mitt Romney, but not John McCain? All three of them go to church.
Because John McCain didn't use his evangelical base to get to when.
Neither did Romney.
Romney hasn't done that. The issue with Romney is different. His religion has affected him in a negative way, and that's why we're talking about it today, because it's something that's affecting us, unfortunately, in politics, and it's something that I would prefer not to discuss because, you know me, I don't like talking about religion with politics, and I don't like, when I'm at church, I don't like talking about politics at church. It's just something I don't like to do, but it's applicable because because these candidates have made it applicable to politics today. Mostly the Republican Party has done it.
I don't think they've done it. I think all the pundits have done it.
No, I don't think it's the pundits at all. I think that it's the 504s and the groups that have sprung up to be part of politics.
So it's everybody. Everybody but the politicians have done it.
Yeah, but Mike Huckabee did it to get elected in Iowa. I mean, to win the caucus. I mean, it was to his advantage. He played it. As you said earlier this week, we talked about what he did to say, and I don't know what do Mormons believe, and Jesus, don't they believe that Jesus and Satan are brothers, or whatever he said. And, I mean, these are things that he has done to get his base. He's got the preachers, at least in Iowa, to help him win that caucus. Whereas, we little talked about with Mitt Romney that he's won Wyoming and he won Nevada, both predominantly Mormon states. And the reason they weren't talked about and the reason that they're not important is because people think that he won it merely because of his religion. So does religion play an effect in politics?
Yeah,
it does. It really does.
I guarantee you that the Mormon leaders aren't telling everybody to vote for
No, the Mormon leaders, the Mormons aren't.
They actually send out things saying, we're not telling anybody who to vote for. You vote your conscience. That's like their thing.
Right. But there are.
But Huckabee's people, we're telling them, you should vote for this.
And in the Catholic Church, they're not allowing certain politicians who are pro-choice, pro gay rights to take communion. So there are some religions that do. They don't. But don't get misconstrued, because anybody who lives in Utah knows that the Mormon Church does have their hands in politics. So that's not necessarily a 100% factual statement. But the issue is, why is it an issue? I guarantee you, the Democratic Party does not care what religion you are if you run on as a Democrat. Whereas a Republican, it's become an issue. In fact, religion's an issue at all. You have to be a religious person to get elected to the Republican Party.
Was Kennedy a Democrat?
Kennedy was a Democrat.
Was it a big deal when he was?
He had to make a statement in 1960 because of the evangelical part of the Democratic Party from the conservative South that has now moved over to the Republican Party. Just the way that it's happened. The success of the Democratic Party in the country goes back to what Johnson did with the civil rights with Martin Luther King, that he helped Martin Luther King do, and which is also why the Democratic Party has declined in the South, and why the Republicans have been successful is because of the civil rights issues, and those evangelicals have now moved to the Republican Party because of social issues, because of abortion, gun control, and gay and lesbian rights. There are lots of other issues to politics that affect people on a bigger basis, but those issues become the emotional issues that the Republicans are great at controlling. Unfortunately, there is an issue where the Republicans have made it an issue. As Reagan purposely did, he made as we've been talking about all week long, the three-legged stool of the Republican Party. And one of those legs is the social conservatives, and he's done a really good job of bringing them in. That's why it's an issue in the Republican Party. But on the Democratic Party, they don't care. They've had Mormons.
They just want to get elected.
They just want to get elected, but
Whatever it takes.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're talking religion because it's a necessity in American politics today. But they don't. They would not care.
Here's what I think.
If Mitt Romney was a Democrat, it wouldn't matter. It would not be an issue.
the whole thing about, well, it wouldn't be an issue yet.
It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be an issue for him getting the Democratic nomination, but it would be an issue in national.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be an issue in the national.
Yeah, because and it will be. And let me. I'll tell you why. Just give me a second. Okay, religion has basically become a tool of mostly on the Republican side. They use religion as a way to it gives them issues where they can basically draw a line in the sand and say you're either with us or you're against us on social issues like gay rights, abortion, and somehow gun control has become a religious issue. I don't understand how, but it has.
It is a good issue. Somehow it's religious.
But anyways, there's all these things, and right at this time, current time, it's usually the Republican Party that's all about religion, and all that stuff. The Democratic Party, outright, they come across as more. And matter of fact, the Republicans will even use this to their advantage. They'll say the Democrats are kind
secular,
of agnostic or secular. They don't really, they're not into religion and stuff like that. So they can use that against them. Say, see, you go to church every Sunday and blah 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 blah. So you should vote for us because these people don't go to church as much as you, and so they're evil or whatever.
Right. So the real difference.
No. Let me finish my statement.
Okay, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. So Romney's a Democrat. He gets elected to the National Party as a Democrat, and you're saying that it wouldn't matter that he was a Mormon. If he was on the Democratic side, it wouldn't even be brought up. He'd probably have issues with the flip flopping, but whatever. So, anyways,
he would have had to flip flop if he was a Democrat. So he'd still he could have been a pro-choice, pro-gay control, pro-gay right Democrat.
If he got elected to Democrat, or if he was the Democratic nominee, his religion would make a difference in the national election because the Republican Party would make it an issue.
It would only be effective with Republican states now, and it wouldn't have effect in places like the West, California, any of the Democratic states. It wouldn't have any effect on the blue states now.
So you're saying only like all the deep South states, Texas,
right.
Mississippi, Louisiana,
the states the Democrats wouldn't win anyway. It wouldn't be an issue, and it may have some effect maybe in a state like Iowa, but I really don't think it would because most independents and moderates wouldn't care about their religion they don't look at religion first. Otherwise, they would be conservative Republican. That's why most Republicans or most of the religious right.
Yeah, you say that
Republican.
now, but if it was made a really big deal in the national media and so on and so forth, because right now they talk about him being Mormon, but they don't make a big deal about it. Not really.
No, the national media does. It's the Republicans that do. It's the conservative right that does because he doesn't fit into
even the conservative right when they say it, they don't. They say it, but they don't want to make a big deal about it because they'll
alienate
backfire
the conservative Mormon Republicans in the West. I mean, that's the only reason they're not doing it. In fact, But the reality is that
if Huckabee won the Republican nominee, I'd be surprised if Utah voted Republican.
It would be interesting to see how the West how it would change if Huckabee won. But the issue is, my problem is it shouldn't be an issue, and in the Republican Party it is, and that's the unfortunate part of it. And you know what? Hopefully we'll get to a point where you can be a part of a religion or not be part of a religion, and we'll look at one's character rather than one's religion.